Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, good.
Hello.
Hello, Karma. Hey, how are you?
Hi.
How are you? It's good to see you.
Good seeing you too.
Hello, how is everybody?
Okay, hi, Joni. Hi, Jen.
Hi, everyone. I'm Debbie Huntsman, and this is the National Women's Sailing Foundation and the National Women's Sailing Association sharing sailing with girls. Tonight, we're going to talk about two things that the Women's Sailing Foundation does. Both of them are to benefit girls and to encourage girls to get into sailing and to excel in sailing. We're doing some things different this year. So for Adventure Sail, if you're interested in Adventure Sail, we'll tell you all about it. We've got some wonderful guests here tonight. Jen Bada from Courageous Sailing Center in Boston, and she has been working with Adventure Sail for since 2013. So she's had about 20 girls each year. So doing the math, that's been quite a number of girls that Jen has helped get into sailing. Another guest that we've got tonight is Karma Williams and her mother, Kara, and they're from New Orleans, and Karma's really enjoyed the Adventure Sail. She's come to it more than a couple of times. Her mother is one of the scout leaders that bring the girls, so it's natural for her to come. And for Adventure Sail, we've also got some skippers that took girls out. First up, Jen.
Hey, everybody.
Jen, people who want to do this for the first time, what are the most important steps that they need to take once they decide to do this?
Well, first I should probably say that I'm the education director at Courageous Sailing, and that we were lucky enough that the National Women's Sailing Association local folks like Joan and Pat came to us long before my time with the idea sort of all ready to go. And they actually partner with the Big Sisters Association. We take girls out, not just the girls themselves, but also their big sisters, which adds a really nice component to it. So I would say, you know, depending on what vantage point you're coming from, maybe you're at a club where volunteers are sailing their own boats. We're not. We're a community sailing center nonprofit, so we're providing the boats and maybe a few instructors, skippers. And then volunteers from the National Women's Sailing Association are providing the rest of the skippers and sort of organizing the day. But I'd say the most important thing is to just start building a relationship with an existing group, probably, who already works with girls and has relationships with girls who would be interested in coming. And then work on, you know, building up the infrastructure of the boats and the volunteers and take it from there.
And Joan, I know that there's a laundry list of girls' organizations that Adventure Sail has worked with over the years. Do you want to mention a couple of the groups that come to your mind?
Obviously, it's the Big Sister Association, whether it's in Boston or Phoenix or wherever, but they're national, so they're always a good resource of girls. There's also Girls Inc., which is national, and we have dealt with them as well. And I think it depends on the location. You know, it really does. We've done an Adventure Sail. You know, I guess it's just with Girls Inc. Pat, just Girls Inc. and the Big Sister Association of Greater Boston, but there are many other female resources out there.
And I'm going to call on Kara because you are one of the scout leaders, right? Would you explain how we found you?
Yes, through Girl Scouts. Through our we have a troop
at our church. And that's how, I would have to say though, Debbie, that you reached out to us, and it was a really great experience for the girls, and something that I don't think they would have, experienced any other way.
Have you been back for Adventure Sail for every year since except for last year, of course, since it started?
Yes, we did return. We did. And every time, it was just a unique but really great experience.
Yeah, and the nice thing is I'm going to ask Karma, how many times have you gone with your mom to the Adventure Sail?
It was 4.
4?
Yeah, I think maybe 4.
Now, are you interested? I know that they've got a community sailing center there now in New Orleans. Are you interested in going and learning more about sailing now that there's a community center that you can go to?
Yeah, I'm really interested. I plan on checking it out.
Good, good. And that's kind of our goal. You know, when we when NWSA our WSF does adventure sails, our goal is to make more sailors. So if these girls return and they go out and go sailing after they've gone a couple of times, then that's a big success. And then hopefully, Karma, if you become a sailor yourself, you'll take your friends too and do the same thing when you're a little older, take girls with you. Would you say was the most exciting or fun part of your very first adventure sail?
I mean, taking the helm, I was really scared. I was like, kind of like, is this going to be like a car? I never drove a car before. I was afraid of crashing it. But when I finally took it, I felt a lot more calm, and it was just a lot of fun.
Well, I have to ask you, because this word comes up a lot with women who's in sailing. Did you feel a sense of power in what you were able to do?
Yeah, it was just like, wow. Like, I mean, I had a lot of control and I wanted to focus, and it just, I don't know, brought out a different side of me.
And how big was the boat that you were first on? I think I remember.
It felt pretty big to me at the time, but it could have been small. I don't know.
I think it was 47 foot. I believe that was the boat that you first went on, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, so it was a very big boat. Did it have a wheel or a tiller?
I think it had a wheel.
Okay, it was that big boat, because it was, we put quite a number of kids on there. Was it fun?
Yes, it was.
And were your friends with you?
Yeah, my friends were with me. And when I first told them, do you guys want to go sailing? They were kind of looking at me. They were like, okay. They were intrigued. They never went sailing before. And a lot of my friends came back with me the second and third time. So I think they really enjoyed it too.
Now, when you went back to school after that, did you tell your classmates that you did this thing?
Yeah, I did. When they asked, what did I do over the summer? I usually told them I went sailing.
Now, one of the things that I remember that some of the girls asked after they went sailing was, can we do this again? And I'm really, really happy that now in New Orleans there is a sailing center, because now there's a way that you can actually do that. I know that they've kind of reached out to you a little bit. Are you gonna go? Have you been there yet?
Not yet, but I am going to reach back out. I plan on going soon.
We saw it the last time we went on the adventure sail, and it was under construction.
Yeah.
And with all the pandemic,
Yeah.
I don't know, quarantine going on, we didn't even know it had opened.
Yeah, they had kind of an unfortunate timing for opening. So they, opened the sailing center and then they really couldn't do a whole lot. So I'm excited that's going to be an option for you. Are you going to try to learn how to be your own skipper?
Yes, I am. Hopefully.
Good. I think you can do it. You're pretty good at the helm. And
Thank you.
I'm going to go back to Jen. In your program, all the girls get to take the helm, right?
Oh, of course.
And what other things do you have for the girls to do?
So what we try to do is really just get them out sailing as quickly as I can. Usually, Joan and Pat and the other NWSA members have, just some like discussion questions and things for them to do as they check in. I'll come and do a really quick chalk talk that is basically, careful, don't get hit by the boom. And hey, do you think your boat would go if you tried to go right into the wind? What about if the wind were behind you? Do you think maybe would it go better if your sail was all the way in or all the way out? Okay, now let's go try that out. Just no need to front load, just get out sailing, have some fun, get the experience, take on any fears that anyone has right away, because as soon as you're out there, it usually dissolves pretty fast.
And I've seen pictures, and if I remember correctly, you at the center there, you use smaller boats, not a 47-footer.
No, yeah, we have Rhodes 19, so 19-foot keel boats. Definitely a tiller. It's a big transition for a lot of the volunteers, skippers actually, just because they maybe own their own boats or sail big cruising boats, and they suddenly have to transition into docking a small boat with a tiller under sail in a very small area. So that can be a challenge for everybody.
Now, I believe, Joan, do you actually take the girls out, or are you too busy to do that with being one of the organizers?
Oh, no, I do that. Yeah,
Okay.
and it's a lot of fun, have a lot of great experiences with it. And well, Pat, the reason I can do it is we have someone like Pat who's on shore, taking care of things on the shore, getting lunch ready and making sure that everything else is ready to go, and getting ready for the knots class when we come back in after lunch. Everybody gets a chance to learn how to tie knots and tie them, and then they become practical applications like doing jump rope, and before you know it, they're outside the tent and they're on their way.
Yeah, it's really hands-on, it's fun, and there's food. So all of those things I would say are definitely important parts of the recipe.
Now, what I liked about working with the Girl Scouts is Kara knows this, that they organized their own food. It was pretty nice.
Oh, that's cool.
So the Girl Scouts, they just charged a very small fee, and pizza came, and all the girls had a pizza lunch. So for the people that are looking to organize an adventure sail, you can make it as simple as just taking the girls out and going sailing, and maybe having, of course you need to have water and maybe just snacks. Or you can have a lunch, you can have a speaker, you can make it as fancy or simple as need be. When we did an adventure sail here in Arizona, we went through the Boys and Girls Club, and which one thing that I would say for getting with the organizations is you have to ask them early and then be pretty persistent about reminding them that it's going to happen, because in Arizona we were a little bit unsure if they were going to actually show up until they did. So sometimes the logistics of getting the kids there can be a little bit challenging. So that's one of the bigger obstacles to planning. With Courageous, do the girls all come with their big sisters?
They come by public transportation.
Oh, they do? And
Yep,
but they
and then
come with
they
their
walk in.
their
Their big sister, right, absolutely. And at one point, when we had the adventure sail at Corinthian and we were on the Courageous, the 12-meter, they all came by a bus.
That's how these is a small group of girls, but they still came in like a little
Mhm.
minivan.
Right, right.
Kara, how hard was it to find where we were having the event?
You know, with the GPS, it wasn't difficult. You still would be surprised by, you know, the amount of adults, children who, you know, they're just not familiar at all with sailing. No one they know is involved in sailing or anything like that. So it's just a good experience. But as far as getting there and finding it, I mean, you know, we don't have those logistical problems, but the exposure, you know, that it provides is really great. And in that, you know, we have these resources really, really close to us.
Squeeze in!
Please.
Squeeze in!
Smile, look at smile. Stay pretty, please.
Say sailing! Thank you!
Okay, now you're done.